Friends, in your soul you long to leave this earth and experience the delights of another, happier world, which is the true earth. Here we only live in a shadow world created by our dreams. In the true world we find perfect bliss. Anoint your brow with water. Sit back. Shut your eyes so that you can see better. You feel very, very light. You still retain consciousness, but you are changing where you are. You are a journeyer in time and space. You are coming back to my time and my place. You are making a journey to the mystic land of Era, where still angels, the she, elemental spirits may dwell without the pollution of our misuse of the planet Gaia. You move through the starlight sky to where the sun is setting. In the time of September, the autumn equinox, the sun sinks in the west and the southeast of Ireland. Here is an unspoiled valley, pre-diluvian. There was this land when there was Atlantis, of the Platonic myth. You see the violet hills and the blue Mount Leinster and the cairn on top, where the legendary lady survived the flood before Noah. You look and you see two rivers meeting, and it is between two rivers that there are spiritual centers awakening in this new age. There are 7 hills in a circle, 2 rivers and trees. We look down on trees. We see a double L of yew trees, evergreen, and stately avenues, trees all orange and gold of autumn and bright green. And then we see an ancient grey castle, crenellated, completely square. And above it lies the flag of the goddess Cybele, who wore castellations as her crown. Within this castle, around which it was built, is an ancient well, and we can see its white light. We sink through the castle, and we see a crowd of the priesthood and about 44 people assembled in the temple of Isis in Clonegall Castle. Round the well are 6 lighted white candles, lovely autumn flowers, and a bowl of burning incense, and a beautiful chalice by the well. We observe that the priestesses wear silver crowns, the priests silver headdresses, and the companions are all in white robes. Standing apart is a candidate. The guardian of the threshold, Corhulan, Hound of Ulster, wears a brown cloak and bears the Anubis staff, a staff crowned with a jackal, for there is a link between ancient Egypt and Ireland, the Gaels descended from the princess Scota of Egypt. The archpriest Lawrence Durden Robertson, in academic blue and black gown and a high black and blue headdress of ancient Egypt, addresses the companions.
Would you, the king of the spheres, who unlocks the doors of time and space?
Now the guardian of the candidate, the Hierophant, Rose Siegel of the Lyceum of Mar, robed in black and silver, steps forth.
The pilgrim is our good member, John Anderson, who has proved his worth to be entrusted with the use of the key of Isis.
The archpriest now addresses John Anderson, the candidate who is both hooded and robed in white.
Have you the courage to face the universe? To reject another that's alien to you. Honestly, face new knowledge without prejudice.
With the goddess's grace, so be it with thee.
Now a priestess anoints every brow with water to awaken psychic vision, and we hear her voice. May you receive true vision. Imagine this happening, and other priestesses pick up bowls and do this also, moving around. May you awaken true vision. And some feel a tingling on the brow, and they may see pale colors, light. Feel this. But suddenly we are aware of a tension, a feeling of a gentle excitement. Seated by the well on a stone seat resting on two stone lions is a white form like a statue, a still figure of a priestess in a flowing white and silver veil. The candles are reflected in the well, and as we gaze at her, we see white light coming from the well and surrounding the priestess. A priest approaches her, lifts up his staff, and invokes the goddess Dana, mother of the deities of Era.
Beautiful Dana, bring to us a glimpse of wonder beyond the known. However satisfied we are with our existence on earth, sometimes a longing comes upon us for a light through a mysterious passage.
Those who watch see now above the head of the priestess a sphere of dazzling light, and they know that the oracle is to be granted. Some even see the brilliant form of a woman behind and above the priestess. Then we hear a voice.
I am the voice that calls you from afar. I am the blackbird that sings in the morning and lures you back from wandering from the trodden path. I am the gleam of sunshine that speckles the hilly grove and casts fitful shadows upon the wildflowers of the heath. It is the incense from my raiment that brings with it the scent of hyacinths and bluebells and wild lilies. When you seek me without calling you, I am not to be found. Yet I may manifest unexpectedly in the heedless moment as you put a foot into a fast-flowing stream or climb to pick red apples. My sigh is the breeze that so tenderly moves your light hair, and I am the wild swan that with its mate flies high over the treetops beyond the river. Yet also am I the darkness that enshrouds familiar forms and makes sinister the commonplace things of day. Through the half-open door am I sensed, and in the creaking of a gate leading into the wilderness, and I am heard in the hooting of the owl. I dignify with my moonbeams the ugly town, but I am also the shadow of the earth that falls upon her in her obscurity. For it is my mystery that lies my enchantment. To live perpetually in the daylight, boxed in a room, a house, a tamed garden and town, is to lose your birthright of ever-increasing adventure into knowledge and love and glory. And that may only come to you when you recover the adventurous spirit of the questing child, the curiosity of a cat, and the courage of a wild beast. I am no inspirer of coward souls. My wisdom and joy is gained through a generous accepting of a new understanding. Come with me, and I will show you the abyss, and you will befriend the dwellers in the hollow hills, who are also my dear children. I shall dance with you in the many-coloured land of youth, and study with you in the solar halls of learning. But when you raise your eyes to the star, I shall lift you aloft with me to celestial realms, and with wings outspread you shall be transformed into shining swans. Yet within you will always be your past, and from that you shall gain sustenance for your future growth into conscious immortality.
All give thanks to the goddess for the ark. May her words grow within us all. The priestess is given water from the well that she may recover from trance. Now comes the part of the ceremony entitled The Key of Isis. This is the ankh, a loop and a knot. The archpriest addresses the people.
Have you the courage to face the unknown, the love to reject mandate, Companion, there are all wayfarers and travel through many spheres of existence during the night while we sleep, and so they forget the soul's journeys when we awaken. Take some garbled dreams, but we are in the Iceland of Asset Shinsu. And divine guidance, endowed with knowledge of how to experience our might experience during the day in full consciousness. We are willing to share this knowledge, this trustworthy companion.
Priestess now addresses the candidate.
We gave you your Anchor Vices at your initiation into our Iseum. It has many uses. We shall now show you its use as the key into other spheres of being. Now shall be your first few steps. Hereafter, we shall guide you more deeply.
Now, each sphere has different invocations. The priest invokes and tells us of the first sphere.
The first sphere unlocked through the Ankh is the matrix of our physical world, the etheric plane. All this world around us is but a transient replica of this sphere, which is sometimes enjoyed by children and those who have the psychic gift of seeing the aura. The goddess Etin and the god Medea preside over the etheric temple on the threshold. I offer those many-coloured flowers to Etain and Medea, who through their love for each other made a rainbow bridge between Earth and Chernanog, land of immortal youth.
A priestess now steps forward and lifts her hands over the well. Then she turns to the company.
Hearken to Medea's plea to Etain to return to Turner Oak when she has become lost on earth. Fair Etain, wilt thou not return with me to our wonderful land where music is? In Turner Oak is neither mine nor thine. White are the teeth there, black the eyebrows, a delight to the eye is the number of our fairy hosts. Every neck is like the hyacinth, and delightful are the blackbird's eggs. Though the plain of error is fair to see, it is desolate once you know the great plain. Oh, a wonderful land is Turner Oak. Old age does not follow youth there. We are matchless people without blemish, who know conception without shame, without lust. We see mortals on all sides, yet none of them can see us. It is the evil ways of mankind that hide us from the multitude on earth. Attain, if thou wilt leave the earth and come again to our mighty people, thou shalt once more be adorned by the crown of glory.
May we all follow the call of love and beauty.
When the pilgrim soul has passed through the temple on the threshold, he faces the dark tunnel which leads downwards to the nether regions. The great goddess Morrigan and the god Balor of the Eye of Fire preside over the underworld cave. Here lie concealed all the primal instincts and passions of man and beast. Here the priestess places hands on the dolmen over the well, where are three ancient Celtic stone heads with helix eyes. I offer these stones, the sacred gateway of the dolmen, to the Morrigan and to Balor. May base metals be transmuted into spiritual gold.
When the soul has learned to control its instincts and passions, it is prepared to enter the sphere of the moon, wherein all dreams and visions. The temple of the moon is presided over by the goddess Mari of the mists and the Atlantean god Manannan.
Here, the priest sprinkles water from the bowl upon the ground.
I offer this libation to Mari and Manannan. May the memory of past lives be bestowed on the seeker, that experience may bring wisdom.
The pilgrim is now prepared to move from the receptivity of water to the vitality of sun. The temple of the sun is ruled by the goddess Grain and the god Lu of the fiery wheel.
Here she lights a candle before the well.
I offer this candle frame on behalf of the candidate, to Grain and to Lu. May he be strengthened for the accomplishment of his life's work for the divine plan.
The sphere of stars endows us with the gnosis, that intuition which excels thought. In the stars is our future destiny. The temple of the stars is presided over by the goddess Dana and the god Lear of starry space. There she offers incense to the altar. I offer incense to Dana and to Lear. May the candidate attain spiritual light. The first part of the journey takes place before the well and the dolmen altar with the great figure of the winged goddess behind it. The candidate is seated cross-legged before the well and gazes into it. The rest of the company are seated in meditation. Here, the priestess now begins to get the candidate into trance.
My friend, you are surrounded by your loyal companions who will accompany you on the journey through the dolmens.
Here she places the ankh between the folded hands of the candidate.
You hold the ankh of Isis, a key used for over 6,000 years for the pilgrim's journey through time and space, through many realms of being. You shut your eyes. Visualize it now shining before you. Gaze long into its loop. You see light. Now you have a glimpse of a room. You feel weightless. You float. You find you can float through the loop of the ankh into a bright room beyond. It resembles the earthly temple, but it is glowing with many colors. These come from the ever-burning lamp of Brigid. The colors change your white robe. You sit down and accept the rose of love, the blue of a clear mind, the green of happiness, the violet of spirituality.
I want you to join in this trance journey. Shut your eyes. You have a glimpse of a room. You float. The room you see is the temple, isn't it, and the well. Now visualize the loop of an ankh shining with light. Flow through the loop. It's like a keyhole. You find a beautiful temple beyond, glowing with many colors. This is a temple you know yourself. It's not the temple of Isis in Clonigall Castle, necessarily. You seem to recognize it. And these colours come from the ever-burning lamp of the goddess Brigid of Era, and from the goddess of all those who preside over vision. You were wearing a white robe, but now you feel it a beautiful rose colour. Love. You feel an unpossessive, beautiful love for all. The love is now changing slightly because you feel clarity, spiritual understanding. Blue light is around you. You find yourself in a sky with all the blues around you and the blue sea below. There is truth. Only truth is eternal. And you know, even if you do not understand, there is understanding. And one day you will understand. Now, you know. Think of any problem which is clarified in this light, light of Mart, goddess of truth and justice. There comes another feeling, green, a beautiful green of a spring day, soft autumn of happiness. Surround yourself with all the greens in the world, all the grasses, the trees, growing things. Green, emerald, soft yellowy green. You could be here forever. Greenness. Even your arms are green. You're laughing. But something else is happening. A ray is coming upon you, the violet ray of spirit. The violet ray of the new era. Surrounded by violet and purples, bluey violet. And in this way you feel in touch with the goddesses and the gods. You are of their kin, as are all beings, but you now know and feel it. You are of their blessed race, for you accept them. Accept that you are a child of the deities, and they will accept you. How majestic, how glorious is Tirnanog, Olympus, Elysium, Amenti, the land of heart's desire. You travel there on the wings of a swan, your soul. The etheric realm is nearer than hands touch, all around you, on which the matter is built. From here you can change your life for good, according to your longing. All that you believe and imagine may be brought through, even to the earth. All that is good, animated by deity, by the goddess. And accepting others, you accept yourself. You love all beings, all existences. happiness is now and forever. Love is eternal. Feel this. Friends, we are seated in half-trance in the temple of Isis, and a candidate in white is gazing into a holy well. He has made with us a soul's journey to the land of half-desire. On the etheric realm, which is so near our physical, it's a part of our physical world. You have been to your own haven, and there you have been encouraged to alter your future. However, we forget the candidate is passing through an initiation, and so the archpriest asks him what he has experienced of the land of heart's desire.
I've experienced the land of heart's desire.
The candidate replies,
I experienced the deepest of all sorrows and the brightest of joys. Despair leading to knowledge of myself and those around me, and a way out to truth.
the sincerity of the candidate is manifest to us all, and he is handed an emblem, the Ankh. He has passed the first test of initiation of the eye of vision. Now we are going to move somewhere else. The company look more solemn. They make a procession out of the well enclosure through a great armed gate. They turn to the right. They stop before the old castle dungeon where people used to be locked up. This is a real castle. Now it is a very different place. It is the cave of the mothers. For the mothers in this matriarchal centre were before any dungeon, any conquerors. This was a holy place of the Tuatha De Danann. Two guardians stand on either side a folding doorway. They throw back the door. The archpriest asks the candidate, is he willing to face the mothers of the underworld?
Are you willing to face the mothers of the underworld?
I am.
He must enter here on his own. We catch a glimpse of an ancient dungeon and a figure robed in black, seated before a red light. And we know that this is a priestess of the Morrigan, of the underworld, sister of the god Balor, of the Eye of Fire. The candidate enters and kneels before the figure. The priestess addresses him as priestess of the Morrigan.
Filled with strength and joy for your journey, you notice that there is a temple garden before you. You rise and enter it. It is lovely, filled with many-coloured scented flowers, and birds sing in fruit trees. You hear the trickle of a stream. You find it and follow its windings until you reach its source. It springs from the base of a rock face on your left. There is an opening in the rock, half concealed by a thorn bush. You push through the bush and face two rough-hewn ogham-stones before a dome and gateway. Through it you espy a long, dark tunnel sloping downwards. You long to explore, remembering your childhood dreams of buried treasure in caves. You climb downwards for a long time. At the end of the tunnel is a glimmer of light. You come out into a mighty cave, shining with stalactites and stalagmites. The many-coloured light comes from uncut precious stones, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, emeralds that lie in heaps at the foot of strangely formed rocks. For all the world, like primordial animals and lizards. You feel sleepy and sit on the ground and run gold dust and jewels through your fingers. You dream that you are so rich that you can have everything we want for yourself and your family and people. Friend, join the candidate in the cave of the mothers. Here are all the occult and ancient wisdom stored, gems of power, gems of glory, hidden knowledge. Find what you yourself truly want of power to help the earth and all the goddess's children. Be truthful. What do you really want? Not what you think you want, but you pretend highfalutin ideas. Look into yourself. What do you long for? Love, rubies, occult power, opals, joy, emeralds. What would you do with power? Help the starving, help wildlife, animals. Make your intention, make your resolve. Suddenly, the black-robed figure lifts up her veil, and it is possible that he will see the face of the Morrigan, goddess of the underworld.
She drops her veil over her face. He bows, rises. With bent head, he leaves the chapel. He has to bend to get through the dolmen gateway. The archpriest asks him what he has experienced.
What have you experienced?
I found myself
This is a profound answer. He is given a black raven's feather. He is now conducted to quite another sort of chapel, the Crystal Chapel. Hard by the well is a hidden Holy of Holies with no outside walls, the Crystal Chapel, presided over by the altar of the goddess Ishtar, the eight-pointed star, shining with silver, and the ceiling is painted with many, many stars, including the non-zodiac stars of Sirius, Orion. Here is a different sort of priestess. She is seated by the altar, robed in a thin silver veil, with a tiara like the moon. The candidate faces her, and she addresses him.
Yet, satisfaction is not complete. You feel a longing in you to leave the cave and seek the unknown. You return to the long tunnel, rising upwards. You pass through the gateway and come once more into the flowery, bird-filled garden. You notice that beyond the stream is a cypress grove in the darkening western sky. You splash through the stream, wiping away the earth stains from the underworld. You wash your face. By the light of the full moon, you catch a glimpse of two white pillars through the trees. You wind your way through the cypresses until you pass through the pillars and find a white marble temple. It has a columned doorway entwined with ivy, and you enter. There in the center of this temple is an ebony-framed round silver mirror. It is speckled with age and looks like the full moon. You sit before it and watch strange pictures passing through it of other lands, other peoples. Yet, all seems vaguely familiar. You look within and you find you can pass through the silver surface into the pictured scene.
You are also through the mirror into another world. You leave the Crystal Chapel with its mirrors reflecting inside windows and find yourself in other incarnations. You have lived before and you will live again, and in this place between the worlds you may look through to your past lives and to the future. Is it Babylon? Egypt? Is it the stars? Watch. Here is home, and yet your home may be in a hut on the hillside, but it is heaven where you love. Your lost love is here. Your lost child, your mother, your teacher, your father. Above all, your immortal beloved awaits you here, calling to you from other lives and another sun, a star. You feel indescribable wonder and joy, for infinity contains all our past and all our future. As you wander down the highways of the aeons, you find your friends, long forgotten, now remembered. And above all, in the mirror of the future, you see one that you shall meet. You'll never be bored again. All heaven is around you, and you have the key. What strange clothes you wore. What amazing buildings. Different climate. Yet all a part of yourself, held forever in the sphere of the moon. You treasure up these memories even as you are told by the priestess to leave. You leave the crystal chapel. The archpriest asks you what you have experienced in the realm of the moon goddess.
What have you experienced in the realm of the moon goddess?
I have seen my destiny.
The archpriest presents him with a crystal. He has passed the moon initiation, passing through that gateway. Now there is a procession to another altar. This is the high altar of the goddess Isis, and on her head is her sun, the Hathor crown. Within the horns of the moon, she is Isis of 10,000 names. And by the altar is seated a priestess, veiled in a long golden cloth like an Indian sari. The candidate faces the high altar and she speaks to him. He is seated.
You wish now to return through the mirror to the temple of the moon, bringing your memories of a past life. You wish now to make more of your present life, so you return to the cypress grove. Beyond the grove is a sandstone sphinx facing the rising sun. Between its mighty paws is a temple. The doorway is framed by pylons carved with coloured hieroglyphics. On its lintel is marked the maze of Newgrange of Era. You enter the temple and sit on the alabaster floor facing the sun. You draw in its rays.
How golden is this sanctuary, the high altar. The goddess is golden, standing between 4 golden pillars surmounted by a golden crown. There is a figure of a sphinx carved in stone. Everything is shining and glorious and powerful. You want to express yourself in this life, known not only at night, in dreams. You find yourself before the Sphinx, facing the rising sun. But you're told not to look at the Sphinx, to look rather at the doorway between his paws. Go through that doorway and find how you may give your own unique, your own individual, particular gifts to life. The goddess gives us nature. We give her our art. Think of any glorious project you feel afraid to do. Now you have, with the sun with you, courage. You are robed with the sun. Remember, the Sphinx has an animal body. You accept your earthly body. Yet, the Sphinx has wings in its Hellenic form. You have a mind. You have within you the mystery of the Sphinx. Leo and Virgo in balance. Your mind is of Virgo, your body is of Leo, the Virgin and the Lamb, the Lady and the Lamb, the hero and the Lamb. You feel a glow in your solar plexus. You feel strong and happy, alive. You have the strength of the spiritual sun within you. We've forgotten the candidate. With a gesture, the priestess instructs him to pass through the two pillars facing the altar and leave her sanctuary. The archpriest asks him what he has experienced in the temple of the sun, goddess.
What have you experienced in the temple of the sun, goddess?
I've gazed upon the faces of the immortals. I have become one with them.
The candidate is presented with a golden ring. He has passed the initiation of the sun. A procession is now formed, apparently out of the temple of Isis, into a smaller temple of India, and then into extraordinary chapel, because there is a life-size figure of the goddess Isis, daughter of Nuit of the galaxy. She is black with black hair, and she is winged. On one side is painted the constellation of Orion, and on the other the constellation of Canis Major, with Sirius, star of Isis. Seated by this altar, which is formed of candles before a great golden figure of Horus, in the form of Tutankhamun, is a priestess, and she is wearing an indigo-coloured veil sparkling with stars, and we glimpse a diamond tiara beneath the veil. The candidate sits back before her, and she speaks to him.
Alive with renewed energy and inspiration for living an active life, you now know how to fulfill your own part in the divine plan on earth. But yet, you still have a longing for something beyond. You find yourself gazing aloft at a snow-covered mountain range. Oh, how you long to reach the heights. Then you find you can rise in the air and you fly upward for a long time until you reach the mountains. You find that there is a range behind the range, and one higher than all the rest is crowned with a noble temple. Its shining dome reflects the starry sky. You reach the temple through 2 high pylons. You enter through a high arched doorway surmounted by the statue of an eagle with outspread wings. Within the temple you sit and gaze upward at the stars which shine through the crystal dome. In one star lies your hope of the future, and you receive the message.
How inexpressibly beautiful. Find your own star. Ascend into the starry realms of the goddess Nuit, who is arched over the sky, bending over her lover, the earth god Geb, and her sister Nort also arches over the sky of the moon, night sky. So 2 sisters gaze upon each other. And there's a deep mystical teaching behind this, for Nort is the shadow material self of the goddess Nui. Ascend then into the realms of reality. The earth is your past, the sun your present, the stars your future. You have wings. Spiritual power flows through you, starlight, like a shining waterfall. You are immortal. The priestess signs that the candidate must leave. He leaves the chapel of the winged Isis. The archpriest asks him what he has experienced from the goddess of the stars.
What have you experienced from the goddess of the stars?
The strength and the will to do her work.
The candidate tells us of an experience he had of star power while he was on the sacred Isle of Arran.
To feel oneself standing within a group of people and yet alone and remote. To look up to the stars, to look into the infinite depths of the galaxy and the universe. To feel the loneliness here on earth, and yet to feel part of that great universe. To feel oneself reach out to touch the stars and to feel their power flow through one is an experience that is as beautiful as it is rare, and it's one that I would wish anyone to experience also.
Think of any mystical experience you may have been given, or someone else's experience, and realize this is a little bit of starlight reaching you through a keyhole, as it were. It's so one ray of mystical knowledge that comes between 2 seconds, transform our lives. The candidate is adjudged to have passed the initiation of the stars, and he is given a fragment of granite with sparkling mica in it from the temple. Now, the priestess addresses him because he is still half in trance.
Return now to your earthly body.
The archpriest gives thanks to the deity.
Give thanks to the goddess and God.
But as he speaks, you and I find we also, commanded by the priestess's voice, are returning to everyday consciousness. Come back to your own time and place. I'm Olivia Robertson, the Fellowship of Isis, Clonegall Castle, Enniscorthy, South Ireland. May the blessings of the goddesses and the gods be with you now and bring you glory and happiness and love evermore. Shalom.